everyone. Welcome to today's Reimagine session. Today's session will be dedicated to green agents. Now, what are green agents? Green agents are, in this case specifically, the people that are working for REDI. What is REDI is the Roma Entrepreneurship Development Initiative. They have a part of the organization that is related to recycling. And in this session, we'll have Asib Zekir, the director for green initiatives and the REDI Recycling NGO. And today he's going to give us, the top to bottom approach, their process, and basically give us all the goings and doings of the work. Asib, welcome. Take the stage.
Okay, thank you. So first of all, I would like to thank to the organizers for inviting me in the Reimagine session. It is my pleasure to speak for the green agents, especially when we are talking about their involvement in the waste management sector in North Macedonia. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Asib Zekir. I'm the director of green initiatives in REDI, and also I'm the director of REDI Recycling. That's a social enterprise. At least it's following the business model of social enterprises. So what is REDI about? The REDI is an acronym from Roma Economic Development Initiative. And as an economic development initiative, we are actually aiming for economic development in the Roma communities. When we are speaking about the economic development, I will share with you one story. That is a true story, actually, that happened to me in 2019, in June, one of the days where it was just beginning of the summer. Okay, so while we are moving to the next slide, it was a quite interesting day because I was a speaker in a panel discussion for economic development in the Roma community and a specific topic on the transition from education to employment. So after the panel discussion, on my way home, I met one old lady, which she was driving or carrying an improvised trolley full with plastic bag. So let me catch you a bit the moment. It was not that hot, but it was just beginning of the summer. So it was June. On my way home, because I live in Shutka, in Shutorizari, before you enter the municipality, there is an uphill, small uphill, that actually you are really struggling when you are walking up to the uphill. On that moment, when I saw the lady, how she's going home back with the trolley, I was passing by car and I stopped. On that moment, I was thinking about the discussion that I've just had with the high-level stakeholders about the economic development. And now I see an old lady, how she's really struggling on carrying the trolley to her home. I stopped immediately and I asked her, how should I help her? She was actually an informal waste collector. The answer was that she's really used to it. And every day she's doing the same. She's collecting plastic and paper from one municipality and then just transporting it to another municipality, where she's just sorting it and then selling it. And this is the way how she's getting the revenues. So she was pretty happy that I stopped and tried to help her. But I really felt responsible, bad and sad at the same moment. Because I was the one who was speaking about the economic development of the Roma community. And then 1 hour later, I couldn't really help a woman from the community that is really actually, she really needs my help on this. This was the moment when I started to think and to realize what these people are really working about. So I dived deep into the details and their work. And actually I found out that around 4 to 5,000 of informal waste collectors are working in the territory of this country, of North Macedonia. So we have around 1,500 only in Skopje, and the majority of them are coming from the Roma community. Then I started to talk with the partner organizations that we are collaborating with, organizations that are really sacrificing their time for the green agenda and the environment and how they should protect the environment, etc. And we find out from informal, from non-official information that 80 to 90% of the collected recyclable waste materials are collected by the waste collectors. So actually, we found out that the contribution that they're providing is very crucial, but not only for the environment, but also for the economy of the country. Because these people, even though they are not paying taxes because they are informal, but still they are somehow contributing for the state economy with the buying products. So they buy food, they use the services of this country, and they are paying for it. Then I started to calculate what are the revenues that they are getting, so I can really estimate what is the real value of their contribution for the state economy. I was quite surprised because it was close to 1 million euros on a monthly basis. It is not that a lot for them, because if you divide 1 million with 5,000 collectors, it's on a monthly basis 200 euros per family or per collector, right? So we see that these people are not really enjoying the life on a luxury way, or they are saving money for going to holidays or something, but they are really trying to survive with this money, even though indirectly they're contributing for the state economy of 1 million euros. And nobody is really aware of it, right? We started to think of it, how we can really show this case on a higher level. And then we understood that within decades, they were contributing also for the green economy, because they were part, and they are still part, of the recycling process of the secondary raw materials. So basically, if we wouldn't have the informal waste collectors, not only in Skopje, not only in North Macedonia, but also in the Western Balkan countries, we can really actually see that we wouldn't have all these three things. First of all, we would have a lot of plastic and waste that is just ending on the landfills, and we wouldn't have the clean environment, but we would have really full mass of plastic. So these are the three main things, besides everything, how the informal waste collectors are contributing for the state. But what the society, we as people, or what the state is really contributing to them? This is the question that I started to think about. So actually, they are still exposed directly to containers. They do not have any health or pension insurance. The discrimination is just increasing because of police brutality, because of they do the mess in the city. They involve their children just to collect more quantity of plastic. And actually, this is the problem that is going through generations, because they are just lacking out of school. And this is everything just connected. Even though they are visible, we can see them on the streets if we go out now, but still, they're not anyhow visible in the legislation, the waste management system in the country, or at least to recognize it as a person or as a state. So this was the moment when we started to think about how we can support these people in 2019. And then we came up with an idea that we need to start initiating kind of an activity. And in 2020, after a couple of discussions, we registered a company which is called REDI Recycling. So REDI Recycling is actually a startup company that is aiming to organize and to employ the individual waste collectors while establishing a system for primary waste separation. So yeah, it is a social enterprise, but due to the lack of legislation in the country, we couldn't really establish as a social enterprise, but to follow the business model of social enterprises. So the company is registered under the REDI NGO, and now it is working the same as all the regular companies, even though we have the social costs and we are actually operating as a social company. So in 2019, we started to have a lot of meetings with the key stakeholders, with the Ministry of Labor, with other key stakeholders, including the public utility company. Then we got that actually we need to start with our initiative. In 2020, we registered REDI Recycling. Then we obtained the license for collection and transport. And then definitely we started to establish the system for primary waste separation. But our vision actually is to create the REDI Recycling Center, which will enable us plus 1,500 green jobs led by the Roma waste collectors by using the circular economy for recycling the secondary raw materials. So for now, for implementing and getting to the vision, the process of implementation, we split it in 3 phases. The first one is the collection and transport of non-hazardous waste, which started last year in October. Then the second phase is on storage and treatment of non-hazardous waste. And the third phase is repairing, upcycling, and recycling secondary raw materials. So currently we are on the phase 1. What is phase 1 actually? Collection and transport of non-hazardous waste actually includes the establishment of a network for primary waste separation. So for first time in North Macedonia, but I think also in the Western Balkan countries, we have a system where people can primary waste separate, plastic bottle or other type of waste materials. And to have it for free, they do not pay for our services, but we are placing our waste bins inside the buildings. And after that, our collectors, which are employed and they are working under the license and under the conditions of the company, to collect from the containers that are placed, and after that to transport it to the warehouse. And this is how the company is generating incomes and covering the operational costs. The second phase is about the storage and treatment. And we are talking here about a phase that is planned for the next year, which will add additional value to the collected materials and enable us to create more green jobs. It's actually on establishing a warehouse that will do the further storage and treatment of the collected materials, and after that prepare them for the recycling process. And the third phase is working. Excellent. The third phase is actually our vision to create a recycling center that will enable us to repair, to upcycle, and to recycle the collected waste materials, but also using the circular economy for designing the final product. So if we go to the achievements of the first phase, actually we have more than 288 buildings that are served. This is not the updated version, but still we have it. We have operations in 3 municipalities. Of course, for additional incentive for the collectors, we are providing bonuses based on the quantity they are getting. And definitely one of the motivation that we are selling and telling to our employees is that we are providing technical support besides of the revenues or the salary that they're getting from us. So this technical support means that we have a person who is assisting them and helping them through all their obstacles, challenges, and issues in the society, even in the health area, even in the education area or discrimination. So they are not alone. We are showing them this case. In the future, planning to expand in the other cities and other countries as well, but also to digitalize the work of REDI recycling that will enable facilitation of the work of our collectors, but also to improve our system of a primary waste separation. This is our team and one of the collectors that we have and the tricycles. So currently we have 5 collectors because we want to have a safe, sustainable company, not only based on projects, even though we are a social enterprise and established by an NGO. And we have 1 supervisor who is giving them the instructions on the field, but also daily communication with the other stakeholders. And we have 1 assistant and a truck driver. This is the timeline of our activities, how it started, and when we are planning to achieve all the 3 phases. And I would like to thank you now for the attention. Here is the scan code that if you are not part of REDI Recycling Network, you should really scan it and apply for our services. I'm open for your questions. I'm sure that there are many of them, so let's go ahead. Yes, please.
Thank you, Asib. It was a very impressive presentation. Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. Asib, thank you very much for the lovely presentation. It was really insightful. I'm just wondering, you mentioned that this organization is supposed to organize and employ the informal collectors, right? And how is it going so far? How many of the people actually doing this job are employed by your organization?
Okay, so currently we have 5 collectors that are employed, and they are formalized and organized because they are with the employment contract. Now they have a salary with paid contributions, health and pension insurance, but also we are providing them the security that after they finish with their monthly activity, salary plus bonuses depends on the quantity they are getting. Aware that we cannot really employ 4,000 or 5,000 of them. We have 5 because we want to get sustainable company. But in the meantime, we are filtering our employees. So the informal collectors that are joining the company, they are not long-term planned, but short-term. And in the meantime, we are organizing trainings and capacity building so they can really step on another green job or another job that they really want to work on. So we have 2 successful cases for now, that an informal collector after our employment contract, he actually got a job offer and we tried to facilitate the process. And this is one of the ways how we can actually put people on a real job market. The other thing is that after we have the 2nd phase and the 3rd phase, we would actually create other job opportunities on repairing any kind of waste, especially electronic waste, then on upcycling, especially on plastic and paper, and on recycling process. So all these processes could not only filter, but also create jobs for the collectors.
Thank you, Asip. I have one question coming from online, and it states they would like to know, how does the procedure go? For example, yes, some people are getting jobs, but how do we get, let's say, more buildings enlisted and all of that? And how do we get, let's say, buildings to apply for them, for their recyclable waste to be picked up? How does that procedure?
So we have usually an open call for applying. We are publishing calls on our social medias like Facebook and Instagram, REDI Recycling pages, but also on our website. And we have a QR code that we are almost all the time promoting it. Now you can see the QR code also where you can apply. So this is how we are getting to our clients. After the application, one of our is just actually contacting the applicants, and then they are explaining what is the process and further placement of the waste bins.
Well, I think that's about it. Asib, thank you very much. And for everyone else watching online, I would like for everyone to stay tuned. We have more sessions coming up. Thank you, Asib, and well, see you next time then.
Thank you, guys.